Good morning.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Newkirk. I'm grateful to be here this morning. I grew up in Jefferson County. I've attended and graduated from different schools, and one of them I'm most proud of is Jefferson Elementary School. And I'm here living back in the county. And as I've heard from afar about what's been happening with the proposed Rockwool development, I've really been outraged to see that this was being pushed forward and was going to put, as someone who spoke before me said, the profits of a multinational corporation before the health of children in our community, before the long-term sustainable and equitable economic development of our community, before the land, the air, the water that is the basis of why so many of us want to be here. And I think the depth of outrage and opposition that you've seen reflects how much this goes against the grain of the needs and the well-being of this community. And I just want to speak to two things briefly. One is that part of what I've heard is that people are outraged in part because this has been a very anti-democratic process that many people feel is corrupt and I think needs to be investigated further. When we look at the hearings, how things have been rolled out and how it's moved forward, this is a very serious concern. And if now, after this most recent election, when the results show a very clear mandate against this project, if now this commission moves forward in a way that entrenches the commitment to push this forward regardless of that opposition, I think that's only going to deepen the sense that this is being pushed through against the will of the majority of people in this county. That's not right, and your job is to be responsive to that. Whether you agreed with it before, that's where the people, that's the message of the people, and I think it needs to be heeded. And the last thing I'll say is that this is a moral question that taps into something that's been a battle in our state for generations about whether corporations can just do what they want to do, regardless of the health of the people, regardless of the impacts on the local community, regardless of whether it really serves the workers and those who live nearby, or not, whether we're going to have a democratic process and an economy that serves us all and that protects our land for future generations. And if this project moves forward and you and others continue to be on the wrong side of that moral question, I believe it's very clear that resistance is only going to grow, and this opposition is only going to intensify. And you're going to be faced more and more with the question of whether to stand up and do what's courageous and right for this community and back up the clear will of the majority, or stand, frankly, in a shameful position of rejecting that and moving something forward that will be viewed very negatively in history. And so I appeal to you and your conscience to stand with the will of the majority and do what's right.